with this market, though, is there is a gap between awareness and potential use. And this is, again, this is a combination of several AARP charts. But let's take a look at this for a second. The blue bar is awareness of. And by the way, if you folks haven't seen the Healthy at Home study from AARP, which is on their website, it's on my website, it's wherever you want to look, you need to take a look at that study. Anyway, so if you look at this, the blue line is that people are aware of a technology. The red is that their willingness to use. Now you can see, and the people surveyed in that study were people who were age 65 plus, and also people who are caregivers of people in that age category. So you can see from this that everybody seems to know about personal emergency response systems, which is the button around your neck. I've fallen, I can't get up, so-called button. And they know about alarms in the doors and windows. But if you look down this list, you can see their awareness begins to decline. And the problem with that is they're not aware of, in fact, some technologies that there are vendors in this room, and vendors are interested in offering to fill needs. And these technologies could actually help people today. One of the issues I have in this market is a lot of people who might actually research the market in university programs, people who might fund this market, people who might enter this market, they're large technology companies. They say, what's the rush? The baby boomers haven't gotten old yet. No need to hurry, right? But in fact, there's an enormous need unmet right now, and I see it all the time in Florida. There are people right now who need many of these technologies, or their lives are really increasingly imperiled. So our job is, in fact, to close this awareness gap. That's what I see my role, and I see the role of many people I'm working with in this room. It's to make better, cheaper, more available products. And it's to link those products to successful aging, right from boomer all the way on up. And that includes the ability of everybody all the way on up to have access to a computer, to the internet. You know, one of the taglines we always used at Forrester, jokingly said it all those years, you know, the internet changes everything. Well, for seniors, it really changes everything. It enables people who are frail to connect to the outside world. It enables people who may have stopped learning to learn something new. It really does change everything. So this is a scenario. You don't have to read everything on this slide, but I'm going to run through this because what I want people to know, and I actually give this presentation to seniors now, and they are quite amazed. This is not Star Trek. This is all technology that exists right this minute. So there's a senior named Mary. She lives at home. She gets up in the morning and she passes a doorway motion sensor. She then puts on a personal emergency response watch. She gets a cell phone medication reminder call. She gets a video call from her grandchildren, requests an online transportation pickup, participates in an online hobby forum, and attends a distance learning course. She's kind of tired by lunchtime because she's done all these things. Meanwhile, her family and her caregivers are updating a personal health record. They're preloading an electronic pill canister. They're setting a medication reminder schedule from the internet. They're configuring a notification phone list, a full hierarchy of phone numbers in case she has trouble. And they are receiving home-related alerts about what's going on with Mary. Mary, by the way, has opted in for all of these capabilities, overcoming the constantly repeated, what about privacy? And the long-distance family members, meanwhile, are making video calls. They're sharing trip photos, and they're setting up the family tree. And then this is actually the real Star Wars part. The healthcare providers are updating personal health records, writing electronic prescriptions. They're looking at downloaded data, not data. They're looking at information that has been summarized and appropriately configured to be exception-based and useful, that's coming from a wearable cardiac monitor in the home. And maybe they're even answering an email question from a senior. This is not in any way something that hasn't yet been invented. All exists. So what I believe is going to happen is technologies are going to be made available to the marketplace, and this is already happening now, so we can actually look out there now and see examples of this, in two types of hub and spoke models. One of the hub and spoke models is a role-based hub, and for example, for a period of time we have the role of caregiver for seniors. So we are going to use our roles, and we're going to go to hubs like caring.com, Gilbert Guide, grandparents.com, and we're going to look for products and services that are relevant to that role. At the same time, we have periodic needs. Maybe we have a chronic disease, maybe our parent has a chronic disease, and then we're going to go to sites based on a need, like mayoclinic.com, or Patients Like Me, or WebMD. And maybe through those sites, we're going to find devices, we're going to find guidance that is relevant to us in order to meet that need. But we are most likely going to use our roles to get information on a regular basis. And in fact, AARP is also one of those sites. So let's take a look at what is going to happen over time. Here's an example of Gilbert Guide and the care assessment capability that's on Gilbert Guide. Role and need-based hubs provide a lens to aging-related roles. And therefore, they are capable of providing a community of interest, community of shared interests, and in fact, they should enable people to comment. I just want a small aside here, something I can do on Gilbert Guide that I don't know how many sites on the internet I can do. There's lots of directory sites today on the internet that will actually tell you where the assisted living facilities are, the home care agencies and the nurses. So what I do on Gilbert Guide, and if anybody's here from one of those facilities, I apologize for letting you know here. What I do on Gilbert Guide is when I read a review about nursing home abuse, and it names the nursing home, and it's a news article that I read in the newspaper, I post it in a review on Gilbert Guide, and I answer the question at the bottom of the review that says, would you recommend this facility? And I answer no. The facilities, I don't think, have any idea I'm doing this. But this is a marvelous service for anybody who's ever actually looked for assisted living or nursing homes. You know the level of consumer information about how they really are is virtually nil. So we're going to serve the caregiver, family, and professionals in these hubs, and there's a number of hubs out there that are actually serving professionals who work in assisted living and nursing homes. We're going to build upon social networks, and products are going to be increasingly intuitive and easy to use. And I just want to suggest here that if you look at this marketplace, I equate it to what e-commerce was like in 1999. So if you remember what it was like to buy anything online in 1999, it was clumsy, it was costly, things crashed all the time, they didn't always ship the product to you that you intended to get. But then you look at what happened by 2004 or 2005, and a remarkable thing happened. It became the way we do business. So in a few years, you can go from clumsy, awkward, expensive, cumbersome, not integrated with anything else, and you can go to a world where it simply is not possible to operate with.